Okay. I can't be sure if we're actually recording live or not, so give me a moment to make sure we're actually live. Okay, we're live. That's all I wanted to know. Okay. Anyway, I was actually recording a little bit before this, but I didn't realize I was actually not streaming. My apologies. Let's see. I think... No, that's not it. Da 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 da. This is the stuff I don't like doing when it comes to the game and stuff like that. I'd rather not bore you guys with going through the same motions all over again. If anything, let's just check this. I can always just cheat to make sure things are working. Okay, which was it? It was event toggle 1, I believe. Nope. Apparently it's not event toggle 1. I always said my time on that one. It might be that one. Yep. Well, apparently I cannot run from them as easily as I thought. So I probably want to be over there when that happens. Let's try that again. Okay, I probably want to fix their movement behavior after that. Alright, so that tells me that they can get through. I'm not entirely clear on that. Wait, let me test this again. I need to make sure, actually, without them butting in, if I can break through any of this. Oh yeah, they can go right through. That's not good. Oh, and yeah, that's even worse. Okay, I did not account for any of this. Apparently I did not do enough accounting. Oh, yep. Tile sets. Freaking annoying. I can't have this. I just wanted to have square looking platforms. Was that too much to ask? I think not. Since you're so needy though, dear game engine, I will be happy to make it boring. Actually, it was boring before, in a manner of speaking, but I really just wanted to do it in squares, not a whole B, whatever those are classified as. Anyway, let's fix this. There's things that need to be fixed. And that made no sense whatsoever. Axis, you are in fact a genius when it comes to English. Pat yourself on the back right there. Alright. So basically, it looks like we're doing basic cleanup so far. Hopefully we won't have to do anything more than that, because I really don't want to be doing this all night, fixing up stuff. Okay, so I imagine that means we're going to have to clean up this corner, that corner, and that one. Does that look right? No, it doesn't. There's a definitive squareness going on there, which apparently the game does not like squares. I don't know why. But we're playing by its rules, apparently, so whatever. Alright, so let's just make sure that these are not going to all be, you know. Okay. Testing is going well. Looks like we are not going to have any more issues with that. Which also means actually, never mind. The other one's probably going to be good. Because it's not broken up into platforms. So, with that said, if everything else is working correctly, and it should be, we can work on the next segment of the map. Now the question is, do I want to go ahead and... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one complete run of this introduction and see if it feels long enough before I go to this next segment of the game. And if you guys have been through any of my live streams, at this point you'll know that I'm not really one to focus on dialogue all that much when I'm really just focused on gameplay. Well, when I'm just testing things, I really am not one for paying attention to my own dialogue, so if you're looking to read any of the dialogue, then I apologize. This will not be the recording for you. This will mainly just be me trying to get through all this as quickly as possible. I think that could be not needed. Okay, and I believe that's the point where we can turn on the music again. Wait. Let me turn that down. Just didn't want it to be that loud in my ears, because it probably would bother you guys too. Alright, so now we can jump. Now it's time to be a bunny rabbit. Okay, so I have a question regarding the jumping mechanic, which is something I definitely am trying to keep in the game as much as possible. So in regards to the jump mechanic, should it be as long as it is, or should I have it be a lot smaller, but if you are moving, you can jump farther? I'm not sure what to do with that. So if I would ask, should it be that you simply always have a really long jump, or should you only jump longer when you're moving? I.e., when you use the sprint mechanic, you jump farther. It might make more sense to do that. Alright, so we're just going to go through this mandatory fight sequence. And I actually haven't replaced all the animations with my own yet. I'm still working on it. Some animations need to be updated. And our ones are well on the way to being upgraded. I think the sword animation is turning out much better than it used to be. Oh, I didn't even notice it had the frames per second thing on there. Let's turn that off. I don't need the frames per second. Alright. And like I tested the first time, this actually feels like it's a pretty decent boss, all considering. I definitely want to work on the magic design, because I don't think it's up to par with some of the other designs. If I'm going to do special animations, I need to make sure they look nice. And I probably should work on that timing right there, so About 3 minutes, not too bad. I still need to add the fog to this area, so that's the next thing we will do. Alright, we got ourselves a large boulder, and we found ourselves another monster to kill. Don't run into the ghosts. Okay. Can we make that jump? Yes, we can. That's one. Okay, I still feel like there's way too many ghosts in the area. Maybe it's just my imagination, but there's probably too many monsters. And I do think we could tone down the jumping mechanic. Maybe. I still feel iffy on that. I'll have to think about that a little bit, I guess. Like, here's how far you can jump. Should that be a sprinting thing? Like, should you only jump like 1 or 2 spaces? Oh boy. I really still have to work on the, What the heck is this? That was not good. Okay, that was not good either. So about 5 minutes? I don't know. It feels like I need to have something more to that. And I don't really feel like I like that. We probably should increase it so it takes a little bit longer to do. Oh. We need to move these up because otherwise we're going to see that right away. Copy, paste, copy, paste. If we move that up, we'll actually get it to not look so sloppy of a cutscene. Okay, we'll go ahead and test that again just to make sure. Yeah, that was definitely more like what I was needing to happen. Okay, good. So what we need to do before we do anything else is make sure that you cannot use that to... That's not good. Oh, that would be why. That will solve all of our problems really quickly. Please. Oh, you freaking jerk. I have to move everything back. Welcome to my live stream where everything can and will go completely, totally wrong. Just because. Now, if we do this right... Yeah, can't move. That's what I wanted to see. Sorry if you're having to put up with that music, by the way. And I am screwed the moment I get near those. Oh, and they can follow me apparently, because logic. Alright. We know it works. Thank the Lord. Alright, so what we need to do I think is make one more map. One more map. And it won't have to be very big. It'll be for cutscene purposes only. Boop. And we'll put it like right there. And that'll be it. And the purpose for that is a cutscene. So edit event. Oh. Okay, so right there. Okay, good. That's what I want. Copy, paste, 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 paste. So what should happen is we'll come here. Now we need to set up a event. Actually, we'll set it up right here. It's probably going to be something like... Oh, it's going to be right there. Okay. Direction fixed. Faster to do. Show animation, player, exclamation mark, or just EM exclamation. Set move route, this event, 1, 2. Show animation. That is the weakest sound for falling I've ever heard, but I'll use it. Okay, let's just see what that looks like before we do anything else. Okay, that's what happens when you don't set things up properly in RPG Maker. Wait for moves completion. That was not exactly nice. They're here. Alright, that should give it some room to think. Oh, because of course I forgot the one important detail. Through. Actually, we're going to have to do something a little more convincing. So what we're going to do is have a very random thing right here and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what we need to do is we need to make the player insert, set move route, jump, and I'm not quite sure which one's going to be the down. We're just going to go with the, I think it was 7? Okay, I'll have to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. They need to fall about 12 spaces. So we gotta make them fall 12 spaces. Edit. And let's hope it's not in traditional fashion where the jump is completely wrong, because I don't understand coordinates very well, so that's probably going to be a pain in the rear. It's probably not going to work. And at the same time, we want a screen to go completely dark. So what's going to happen is exactly what I wanted. Good. Unfortunately, the area is going to... Okay, so the problem with this is, if you didn't notice, someone saw the little landing pad, which is a big no-no. So what we gotta do is we gotta make it at least a little bit bigger so you can't see it on screen. And we're gonna have to account for the new location in another count. So, in other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You're following 19 spaces. Edit. Okay, it's actually 19 spaces you're following instead of... That happened too quickly, so in true fashion, I'm going to play that again so we can... We didn't even see you fall. It's a problem there, so what we need to do... Wait, I don't know. Let's say 40 frames and see what happens if my logic is right. We should see just enough time. Nope, not what we wanted to see. That lets you see the platform, and that's not what we want. We want it to not take that long. So 20 frames, and hopefully that's what it's going to take to do it right. Ten frames, so it shouldn't take very long for that to kick in. Probably about 5 frames, actually. Please be 5 frames, and still capture the whole falling aspect. What am I going to do, view game? Okay, there's one possible thing we can do here, and that is possibly use the tile set to make something that is already dark. Let's see what happens when we do that. That just makes it look white, and we don't need to be white. We need to be something else. Subtract. Let's see if that helps. And one more time because I didn't see it. Good. Can't see it. Just want to make sure. Third time's the charm. We're going to actually alt-enter this so we can actually verify 100%. Yep, can't see it. That's good enough for me. Alright. Now we know. It actually works. That is what I wanted to see. Alright, so... let's... wait 20 frames. Okay, I just want to make sure that we actually see this happen. Alright, that's pretty much what we wanted to see happen. So I'm pretty glad that worked out the way it did. Alright, so basically we have everything we need to actually start the thing. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make... Alright, so it's the evil castle. And we're going to do 40 by 40 and see how that works for what we're going to do. Alright, that's actually going to be pretty good for what we were wanting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically lay down the terrain for what we're wanting. And this is basically like a transition before we get to the major scene I'm trying to get done. So we'll go down this way. And there'll be some more monsters here you fight, so on and so forth. This is just like a small passing area. It's not meant to be anything more than filler, really. Though we can actually make it important, I'm pretty sure, if we do a little bit of tweaking to my design. But I want to kind of build a basic layout first so I know what I'm doing. Alright, so the other part of it's going to be right here. And we'll have this right here. Like this. I'm probably going to have to be kind of mean on this level, because jumping's going to be kind of a problem. Actually, no, never mind. They still have to get through the gate. Even if they jump past the gate right here, they're not going to get anywhere from it. And I could set up the terrain conveniently enough to block them off, so in that case it could be a good way for level design. Alright, so we're going to make another one right here. I'm sorry if I'm just rambling. I'm trying to really get some work done this time around. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to encounter the first party member you'll acquire in your journey. And so the basic concept of this introduction is that you are a prisoner of death, and your soul cannot be reborn until you escape the realm of death. So that's basically the whole setup of this particular area, is you're trying to get out. And on the way you meet your companion character. Alright, so we got our basic layout, that's good. We're gonna need some manner of entry point, so how does this work exactly? First thing I will do is I will basically try and see what happens when I do this. Yep, pretty much I'm trial and erroring this at the moment. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay. So that's not actually a bad design. Okay, good. Actually, that might be a problem if this bites me in the butt. Come on, don't bite me in the butt. I just need a nice store. Don't give me grief. Right, I just need to see how this looks. Of course. Of course you would. We can't have nice things, is the moral of this story here, folks. There's no such things. There's no such thing as nice things, apparently. Well, we could do a little bit like that and see how that looks. Of course, it's never satisfied until it completely dashes my hopes for having a nice looking prison. Well, not even a prison, it's just like a tiny door. Well, it's like a tiny little building. Okay, I actually want it to be through so you can walk in it. And he still can't walk through it. I wonder if I can just do this then to make that illusion. Yep, it works. They don't even know. They won't even see it. Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to see. So anyway, in case you don't know what I'm actually planning, well, I'll just show you. So, what we're going to have is basically the way to the next area is going to be blocked by means of what is going to be our blockade for today. Not rocks, we've already done rocks. Let's not push our luck. Maybe sparkling lights will block our path this time. I don't know. Interesting, though, that we have, random chess pieces in the game. For whatever reason. Okay. Surely there's gotta be some more stuff than that. Come on. Come on! Give me something else. We've already went through this. Does it have to be spikes again? Does it have to be spikes again? Come on. Please. Let's see if we can find something in tile set. Nothing too convincing. I'll put it that way. Screw it, rocks it is. No, no, no. Gotta be believable, come on. Let's use the spikes. Spikes are good old friends. Lovely spikes, blocking the way. Copy, paste. So they'll just be stationary for now, until, of course, we make our nice little interior, which will not be very big. Alright, so we're just going to have a simple little area here. Nothing big. And we're basically just going... Yes, I'll fix it in a second. I know that's there. So what we're basically just doing is we are basically just going around making this You messed it up. Anyway, this is basically the switch room where you flip the switch and the... I am terrible. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's where the switch is going to be, and when you flip it, the spikes will go down, and you can proceed to the next area. Let's see, let's go with a monster, some description. We'll just do our stereotypical ghosts. No, I don't feel like it. Still gotta put some effort into this building. I can't just like randomly throw it in and call it good. I have to actually put effort into what I'm doing. Don't want to be called lazy. Would it be believable to have... I'm trying to think if I should have like an upper level or something. Nah, let's not overcomplicate things as it is. I'm already getting weary of this. Alright, so we're going to want to switch. It's probably going to be a lever. Okay. You hear a click and grinding of gear as you flip the lever. Flip the lever. Anyway. Actually, that should be up here. Alright. I could make things more interesting now. You'll have to see what I mean in a minute. What am I looking for? We're looking for control switch. Toggle event 1 on. And control self switch A. And that'll be that. So what I want to do real quick is I want to set up a little bit of a trap. Because we couldn't have things simple. And I actually do enjoy making things painful for others in some degree. So you'll notice these are on the... So these will be like that, but... Parallel process. Actually, they'll just be like that, and then we'll do this. We'll have to make sure this works, though. Because I am kind of a greenhorn when it comes to some of this stuff. So basically, flipping the lever will make things more difficult for you. Deal damage. Let's do a constant of like 25 damage. Knockout in battle. Let's see if we can find like a spike noise to go off. Apparently that's not gonna work. We could do the sword thing. And we'll do a screen flash of red. Alright, so copy. And let's place these randomly, if we can. Actually, no. I have a much better plan. Copy, paste, paste, paste. So it'll look all scary and crap, you know what I mean? But it's actually a little bit harmless if you know anything about the game. Alright, so if you were to jump this, you would probably land on that actually. So I'm gonna mess with that a little bit. Hold on, I'm gonna test this, make sure my logic is sound here. Alright, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna turn on the jump ability. So I know I'm not crazy. Yep, you would land there. Oh, I forgot something very important. Okay, so I can't actually just do that, so I need to... Alright, I'll have to think about this design a little bit more carefully. So, first off, we'll make these through, so we don't, you know, hurt someone. Well, block someone is more what I meant. Let's just get rid of all these again, and we'll think about this a little more carefully. So we'll first... So basically what I'm going to make you do is I'm going to have to make you think about where you're going, because you can't really just... Let's see how this works, though. I just want to gauge how good of a trap this really is. Alright, so everything looks fine. Then this happens. And how much health did that take away, out of curiosity? Yeah, so don't touch the death laser. I call them death lasers. What is wrong with me? My brain, I don't think. That's probably gonna... Smart. Really bad. And yeah, that's gonna mess with people, I think. Especially if they can't move on these things, so they'll have to think about what they're doing. Ow. Yeah, your player is not gonna jump if it's like, yeah. I think we're doing something nice here. Alright. And then, just to completely be a dick in this situation, Why don't I make it so it's a straight shot alley full of spikes? All the way from there, straight on. I don't know, I just want to be extreme today. Alright, so basically that's gonna be painful, to say the least. Alright, we want to make sure that sounds appropriately enough. Actually, let's just copy the sound from here. Copy, paste. We'll add a little bit of a thing so it makes them think, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Shh! Just to be a complete utter troll. That's not what I meant. Oh, copy, paste. I didn't realize which one it was. Okay, so now that should actually do what it needs to do. Have fun, everybody. I know most people will not enjoy the sight of spikes in the morning. Uh, Alright, so I'm actually pleased with myself sufficiently. So let's actually make the freaking transfer right here. And we're going to want to go there. Fixing downward. Player touch. Copy. Paste. Alright, good. Now we need to go here and we need player touch. Transfer player. And we're going to take them inside the mean room. Facing up. Just in case somehow by fluke you don't end up in the right spot. Alright. New page. Switch. Event toggle 1 is on. Player touch. And that will go to the next area. And edit event. We'll do the same thing here. New event page. It's on. Player touch. And we'll elaborate on that more later. So now we're going to go right here. Alright, so we're going to pretend for a moment. Alright, that we can't get anywhere, so there's the spikes. So what we do is we walk in here, and as you can see, there's clearly nothing suspicious whatsoever about this room. Totally not anything suspicious. And you're like, oh dang, what do I do? You go like this, actually. And don't walk too fast, or you will literally just hurt yourself. You will hurt yourself once, judging by the, oh yeah, and if you come back, the spikes will still be there. But anyway, it's working just as intended. That's great. I love it when things work without any hitches. Very good. Alright. Alright, let's place some random rocks everywhere. Make it really hard to actually get in there. Alright, looks pretty good. Now we need to actually make it so that you really can't... Actually, there's no point in me blocking that also. But there really isn't any point to jumping up there either, so I'm going to make that quite clear with this, so... All's well that ends well, I guess. I don't actually know if that's going to stop people from jumping up there. It's just my assumption it will work. It's probably completely utter bogus. Actually, no, thinking about it, if it's only 2 spaces, there's no way they're actually going to get up there. Unless I'm overestimating my abilities as a level designer. And I'm probably doing just that. Alright, be sure not to use the wrong freaking texture. Dear Axis. Most important thing to remember, don't use the wrong freaking... Oh, there's actually different... Why does there have to be 2 different... Why? Why does there have to be 2 different... stone types? It's annoying. Ugh. See, they're different colors. It's freaking annoying. I don't know why they did that. It's really frustrating now. You're like, oh wait, it's not the actual correct color. I have to change it now because I'm an idiot for not noticing it sooner. Alright, so if it's too wide, that means we need to do, well, too tall, I mean. But since it's that wide, we gotta make sure it's accounted for in the spacing. The worst thing I hate about those kind of situations is I usually will go like, yay, no problems. And I realize I have to go back and fix something. Anyway, it looks like we won't have any more problems when it comes to the level design here, so we should be pretty good to go. Of course, I had to open up my big mouth. Alright. As long as your big mouth doesn't open up again, Axis, you should be able to finish designing this level. And I think that should keep the jumpers out. Alright, and I won't have to work too hard at making the secrets. Alright, just plop a few of these for decoration, because obviously it's going to be kind of boring to look at if they're just all, you know, blank plateaus. And we'll do this. And we'll actually make one of these pillars. 2 actually, just to liven things up. Place a few rocks. More rocks. Rocks everywhere. Rocks for presidency. Alright, I think we've livened this place sufficiently enough. Need to rename these so I know where everything is. Fall is adequate enough. Area before companion. Spikes are mean. Chase plus jumping. Yay. Steamy boulders. challenge. A cutscene. Alright, we've officially named everything. Great. We're doing good. I think. Spikes for main, area for companion, and I think that's probably as much as I'm going to get away with tonight. I probably should go to bed. It's already pretty late on my end. I'll have that in the morning. Okay. Anyway, thanks for putting up with me tonight. I just wanted to get some work done because I felt bad about not getting any work done. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll follow my channel, and the hope I am absolutely terrible. I'm very sorry. I hope that you'll follow my channel for future videos and updates to my game, and I hope you enjoyed. Until then, my name is AoDLegacy, and I will see you in my next live stream or next video. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/AoDLegacy. Bye.